Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Ives number 054. This is an 054, and that means Dutch door bolt from Ives, and this is in the MB26 or B26 finish. That means two things. It means solid brass base material with a polished chrome finish over it. Okay, the 054 is a ubiquitous bolt from Ives. I don't know how many decades they've been manufacturing this bolt, but probably I can account for pushing 3. So this is a bolt you're going to use all the time. Dutch door bolt. It's obviously intended because of its relatively short length and yet its substantial width and thickness to secure the top leaf of a Dutch door down to the bottom leaf. However, I like to sell this to clients in all sorts of applications beyond Dutch doors, just because it's a robust and relatively petite footprint. Very attractive surface bolt is really what it is. Let's go over some dimensional properties. First of all, they have this as a 5/8 of an inch throw, and the projection or the throw is governed by that base that slides. It's limited up here by hitting the stem of the knob, and then it's limited by that pin. So really that distance is the 5/8 inch throw, and I'm going to confirm that. Yeah, indeed, it's probably closer to 9/16 projection. Okay, this is going to have a half round diameter of 5/8 of an inch. Half round, you can see why they call it half round naturally. The rod length is 4 1/4. Closer to 4, actually 3 1/5. Oh, forgive me, I've got it hooked on the wrong end. Indeed, 4 1/4 has an overall to the outside of the knob of about 4 3/8. Total projection, you can kind of judge that there on the camera. Okay, about 5/16 of an inch. The base is closer to 1/2 inch. The knob gets you out to about 1 3/16. Center to center on the mounting plates appears to be about 1 1/4 inch, and overall of those mounting plates is about 1 5/8 inches. This is going to include the typical strike that you're going to see, which would be generally mortised to the top of the bottom section, the lower leaf of the Dutch door, mortise to the top, mortised. This is surface mounted to the upper leaf, and then they connect together just like this, so that when you open the top leaf, you will see this mortised flush to the bottom of the door. Obviously, if there's a shelf involved, this might be something tricky to get installed. You might need to be creative with how you install it, meaning mortise this so that it's all completely flush. You know, that sort of scenario. But being a Dutch door bolt, that's why this specific strike is included. Okay, overall width of the strike, about 1 1/16. Overall projection, about 1 3/8. Height over here, about 1/2 inch, and then the lip length or thickness is about 1/8 of an inch. A couple of screws. Speaking of screws, you're going to get a total of 6 in a complementary finish. They are brass as well, or at least they're not magnetic. I'm going to go with brass. I'm touching them to my magnet, meaning pre-drill the holes very nicely. Use a absolute proper fitting Phillips bit when driving these in so that you don't shear them, strip them, things of that nature. They're difficult to get a polished chrome wood screw with an oval head to match. So proper pre-drilling for that. Practical, rugged, attractive bolt for application on Dutch doors as well as other areas, as I mentioned earlier. Chamfered rod ends draws the 2 leaves of the door tightly together, meaning it's chamfered on this leading edge. So if you've got a small amount of misalignment when the bolt goes into the hole, and obviously that chamfer just simply helps proper operation so that you're not trying to get the door perfectly, the bolt perfectly positioned into that hole. Being chamfered, it will allow proper operation, but then when it's installed, it will draw those 2 leaves together and to be parallel in a vertical orientation. Sufficient tolerance provided in the strike opening to allow for misalignment of the door leaves, and therefore prevents binding of the bolt. Decorative, 1 inch, I didn't give you that dimension, diameter knob. Okay, indeed, 1 inch. and again made of solid brass. There's a link below this video to the installation instructions where you can, and it's really just the back of packaging that you'll get on this, and you'll see exactly how that's going to be mounted. As we had discussed earlier, we'll give you a dimension from the bottom edge of the door to where that first hole will start. Okay, looking at that link to the PDF, might be 2 5/8. Yeah, 2 5. Yes. Yeah, 2 5/8. That dimension's a little bit muddy, but I'm measuring it here on the desktop, and it'd be 2 5/8, and that would leave a very small amount of margin. Position the bolt approximately 2 or 3 inches from the door edge, using the dimensions shown in Figure A. Position the standard strike at the top of the bottom leaf aligned with the bolt. Trace the bottom portion of the strike. Mortise for that area only, meaning you're going to trace this, locate it, trace it, mortise only for this leaf. This will project off the face of the door. 1/8 of an inch thick, they're saying. Standard door application, same sort of scenario. The issue being that you'll really need a different strike if you're going to use it as a conventional bolt, is the bottom line. There is also a link below this video to the document called Product Brochure, which is very handy because it will allow you to review not only the 054 Dutch bolt, but their common S48 mortise door bolt, but then also some common surface bolts from Ives as well. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Ives products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to the full product catalog. The summary of Ives is this. The name Ives is synonymous with trim and auxiliary hardware, a name that you will experience industry-wide acceptance, familiarity, a name that you're going to get approved if you're a contractor, an end user. You'll look to Ives because of how ubiquitous their entire line is. So they're familiar with people. But what you may not know is you might want to take a look at, if you get into pivots for full-size doors, look at the Ives line of center hung and offset pivots. Great quality, great price, great capacities in terms of door weight, and the easiest to use installation instructions you've ever seen when it comes to pivots. If you have any questions on the Ives 054 and a B26 finished polished chrome or any other Ives product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you very much.